Welcome back, everybody. Doug Schakel here again, and now we're going to have a chance to take the information from that part one video on the ABC Scramble Pressure Defense and see how it plays out in a real game. Put together a series of about 40 defensive clips, and I will be doing a voiceover on those clips to emphasize the different teaching points as the game unfolds. Now, I had a chance to watch our opponent in this video when they played another league opponent, and what I noticed right away was that they were really well coached and they had really good players. Their half-court offense was very effective, and this team won a lot of games that year. So what you're going to see in this video is that because of the scramble defense, the constant trapping and the interception attempts and all that goes on with that defense, that our opponent rarely has the opportunity to get into their offense, and it's not their fault. That's what this defense will do. And what it does, it takes the offense out of the hands of the coaches and puts it squarely in the hands of the players. The defense is so disruptive and chaotic that the offensive players just never get a chance to get comfortable or organized. Add in the fact that they only get 1 hour of practice each week, and you can see the difficulty this defense can present. Now, I should mention that we only spent about 12 to 15 minutes in our 1 hour practice on defense. So that meant I had to do a lot of coaching and adjusting on the fly during games. And for you can help yourself do a better job of on-the-fly coaching by watching these defensive video clips over and over. And the more you watch, the easier you will begin to recognize situations in games and be able to make quicker adjustments. Now, without further delay, let's take a look at the ABC Scramble Pressure Defense in action. Alright, so this is the first time that I've done this kind of thing where I'm doing the narrating. We're jumping into our press after a free throw situation right now. And we had a little A-B trap, probably could have picked a pass off there. We still keep the presses on, cutting off those passing lanes. They're still successful, almost had one there. A little bumpy, might get a foul here, but I want you to don't give up, and where's that next pass going to be? And there's a kid who anticipated that. And off to the races. Again, we're running right back at it. Here's our A player, then the red shorts that came back and chased that down. Ball gets loose. Again, we don't give up on the play. We're going to do a little A-B trap coming up right here. Going to need to regroup, but we step in front of a pass. Now here's where we rip the ball away from a player to prevent a tie-up. We want to get that ball for ourselves. Shot goes up here, and we get a rebound. We're going to hit our wing. She's going to make a nice little bank shot over here. And we're back in our press. So again, we jump into it. Now this time our A player didn't go trap, stepped in front, and picked up a steal. Here we've gone into a CI situation. The C's have inverted because they brought another player up. Got a steal off the press here again. And here off a turnover, we're going right into the press. Here we're chasing. There's our A player chase the ball. Okay, we're still in it. We're going to put a trap on that side. We fouled on that situation. Got to be careful about reaching. That's why I want to put some of the hiccups in that can occur right here. Nice steal, good anticipation. Where's that next pass going to come from? Don't guard air, and we convert for a basket. And our opponent calls a timeout to kind of get regrouped here a little bit. Okay, now we got a foul called there. Again, a little hesitant. If we really like those kids to feel free. Got an over and back violation right here. All right, so here we are attacking the ball after a miss. And we got a foul there. We try to cut the ball off, not the player. You almost get one, almost pick one off, and we keep going. We're always going for this. We do get a jump ball situation there. Nice anticipation. Again, where's that next pass going to go? And she stepped right in front. Got a nice steal for us. Here's a little bit of our modified triangle offense at our center for our shot. Notice good board coverage there by number 13. Jump into the press, and we get another steal. Here's where we rip the ball away again. Now, they called a jump ball, but I didn't, didn't look like it to me. I thought she ripped it cleanly away, but nonetheless. So here we have a little out of bounds play. Not successful. This was supposed to have been edited. I don't know how that was able to sneak in there, but we'll try this out of bounds play again, I think with better results this time. And jump back into the press. I may have some hiccups with the editing. I do this myself, so sometimes it doesn't work out just exactly the way it's supposed to. So once again, we're trapping. We're standing. Here comes another trap. Once again, grab the ball, rip it out of their hands. But we called another jump ball. Here we're in a triangle situation. Find our rover on the baseline for that little baseline shot. She gets pretty good, becomes a specialist at that in the triangle offense. Jump into the press, and we had a player step over the end line. Here we just have a miscue again. When you keep that pressure on, it's just unrelenting. And sometimes you get kids that are trying to get a step ahead or wondering where that next player is going to come to trap them, and they take their eyes off the ball. And we have a situation, we're in the midst of a situation where we get 8 shots on one possession at the basket. I mentioned before that we kind of struggled a little bit shooting the basketball. And that's why we went to that press, so we could get some extra offensive possessions. Finally, we are able to convert. So again, into the press. Okay, we get called for a foul, a little bit of a reach right there, but we like to be aggressive, and I don't want to take that aggressiveness away at all from our basketball players. I think that's really important that they have that, and then that they can, again, free to go after intercept passes, and it just makes the press that much more effective. Kind of want to be risk takers. I just think they find opportunities to make a lot of things happen defensively, and they really get creative on their own. Pick off another pass in the press. So again, you can just see, I think our video is about 15 minutes long, but it's just, we're just so unrelenting. They're just, every pass, it seems like, is challenged, and just really, as I said before, it takes the coaches out of this. You haven't seen them run, an offense yet. They're just kind of scrambling. We get a traveling violation against the press right there. Here we miss, and so we're going to transition into the press, and we get it knock a ball off a girl off her foot and out of bounds. Nice steal by our player right here. Got a stolen back. Once again, we're going to continue to trap. Now we got a traveling violation right there. Again, it just forces players to they just kind of get sped up, I think, both physically and mentally. Almost got a hand on the ball here, and we get called for a foul right there. We do foul a little bit more than probably we would like to, but again, you have to understand the trade-offs. Got to be able to live with that, and we played 9 and 10 players all the time, so that was we had fouls to give, I guess you would say. Got an over and back violation right there. Nice steal by our player in the press. Right, again, we're right, we're anticipating where's that next pass going to go. And we're going to put pressure on them right away. Yep, get a steal right there, right before the buzzer at the end of the first half. Just relentless pressure. Here's the start of the second half. Get a nice trap here. I think we get called for a foul. But good anticipation by our kid that came to steal the pass. Again, where's that next pass going to be? Make a difference. Don't guard air. And there's a hiccup on defense right there. Wanted to show that, show those things. It happens sometimes. Nice basket on the end of the fast break right there. Into our press. And we had a traveling violation right there. There's our A player, makes a steal, puts it back into the press. Makes another steal on the back end. They're great. The kids get just great at anticipating. We just encourage that to where's the next pass? How you make a difference. Don't guard air. Don't stand around. There we get to see we run and get a tip there also. And that player actually reached and grabbed our player right after the steal. Shoot and miss. Presses on. And we get a steal again. Got a foul there. But again, we're trying to jump in front of a pass. Hope you're getting a good feel for, what's going on with the press. Sometimes, you look out there and the alignment isn't exactly the way it's supposed to be, but it really doesn't seem to matter. It just, the overall thing is that we're going to put lots of pressure on. We're going to force, there's a nice get-back kid getting a steal at the end. And we're just going to keep the pressure on and again, force players to use all of their skills. And if there are skill deficiencies, then it's going to show up in turnovers. Almost picked one off right there. We go. There's an anticipation. Pick a pass off. So we've got that little drill, drill that we have where the coach, in the first video, the coach passes to another coach. There we got beat for a layup. But we got that one where the coach passes to another one. We intercept it and go down and, score. So that's where they get used to get a traveling violation right there. But that's where we get used to gambling and stepping in front of passes. We're pretty excited. Look how excited we are. We forget to get back in the press. But again, we're going to attack that ball here. We get a traveling violation. If you look at the referee in the corner there, he's signaling for a travel. There's my granddaughter Emma, makes free throw. First one of the year. And you can see they're pretty excited. Nobody knows where to go in the press now. So anyway, here we come. Presses on. Trap in this corner. And get a piece of a ball. Again, it's just, man, we are just looking, reading the eyes and the body language of the passer. They'll tell you where it's going to go. And we don't want you to hesitate. Don't want you to hesitate. You got to have a little Mississippi riverboat gambler in you. I think we just went out of the press right there because we did get a 15-point lead. As I mentioned to you, every time that we had to go out of the press, we had our lead diminished. Once that happened, of course, then we could go ahead and go back into the press. Good anticipation. Here's one more anticipating, jumping the passing lane. Had some soccer kids that I think they got some of their anticipation from soccer as well. Well, I hope you really enjoyed our game action here, and I think it gives you a better idea. You get some flow, some understanding. I included clips where we had hiccups on defense. I didn't want to come across the idea that this was going to be perfect, but you can see that we caused a lot of turnovers, and even at that, I think the score of this game was 34-22. So I hope that you can take some of these ideas and apply them to your team and have the kind of success that these girls had. Till next time, this is Doug Schakel signing off.